How are things holding up for Rage of the Abysses Reveals? Make sure you guys smash it and crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. So I want to talk about the last week of reveals. We've made individual videos and we gave early thoughts on a lot of this stuff, but I want to follow up here and I want to explore some more thoughts that I've seen from playtesting these and overall more of their impact across the board. So we're going to start off with Grandpa's Blue Eyes Millennium Dragon. Now this was the fact that they took the Millennium deck. Now, as the Millennium deck currently stands, I've had a decent amount of testing with Grandpa's Blue Eyes. I will tell you, card's pretty gosh darn good. The fact that you have a 3,000 body that can pull itself out of the graveyard, and you get 3 more copies of the Millennium Ankh. About frickin' time, man. Like, Konami needed to hand this deck another, since you have so many bricks in the deck, just being able to have those extra copies, the monster ability to come out of the graveyard, the ability to suck up, basically destroy something on, the way to the field. Yeah, this card checks all of the boxes. Now, obviously, does this make Millennium, a tier 1 deck? No. I would still put it in the rogue category. Very, very, very far and in between here, getting the chance to actually see this deck do anything. But this was a right step in the right direction. I'm really digging the lore tie-in. If you are trying to play the Exodia good stuff, I think that's fine. I think the deck is very casual oriented, and that's fine. And once again, I would also put it in the category of the local buster. Once we get playtesting going here, I'll try to upload some of the specials that we have run into with this, because the deck is so cool. Now, the Primordials, or the Primordials, however you want to pronounce them. This was the entire archetype that was meant to support vanilla monsters. Now, the first thing that I'm still sticking to with this is this entire deck being able to just be a splash package in every single vanilla monster deck out there, from Blue Eyes all the way down to Evil Swarm out here, is so incredibly cool to me. I think Konami's logic with producing these monsters was they wanted to be able to, I think they're trying to get to the point that if you make normal monster support and you allow all these normal monster decks to be good, you technically bring an infinite amount of decks to the table. Like that's the whole gimmick between all of this is, the more normal monsters you power up, the more interactions that you have, that technically strengthens all of these decks. Also, being able to have this big fat monster that can basically Dark Ruler no more your opponent's field during their turn, and clean up some things on the back end of that. Yeah, that's incredibly good. Do not underestimate the ability to have an acting hand trap monster just go, hey, we're going to go ahead and clean up your field. Thanks for playing. And it was a really fun time. Also, all the interactions that the normal monster stuff brings to the table is extremely good. I want to see this archetype get more in future sets, and I think we will probably actually see that. Konami started this in the right direction, and if they do fuel some extra good stuff into this, you'll actually see people want to pick up these cards and start exploring them. Because as it stands right now, we don't have enough, but it's definitely in the category of we can get places. We really do need a spell card that summons 2 level 4 lower normal monsters from the deck. I think we could get somewhere. Let's talk about the 6 Samurai cards. So, Samurai got, 5 cards out of this set. They got a new Shien. They got an Anishi Synchro. All of these cards are... I think I'm going to be a little bit harsh on this. The problem that 6 Samurai has had throughout time is they're very dependent on Gateway. If Gateway sticks at 1, that's problem number 1. Well, yes, they do have the means to search it. The entire deck is 2 card combos, effectively. Even with like Shinai and Mizuho for the loop, you still have to see both of them. You still, in order to get like good value, you still have to see, Kagemusha Elder, things like this. And that's my biggest problem with this stuff is it's more 2-card combos, But Robbie, you have United, you have Gateway. Yes, you have these cards, but you still need to commit. You have to have these monsters line up. Yes, you can spell lock your opponent all you want. This deck has access to Naturia Beast, which is a highlight for this deck. I will give them that. Being able to pull that stupid Naturia Beast out and just win free games because you have a natural inherent ability to make it. 150%. Alone this deck is going to win strictly on Naturia Beast locking opponents. It's just, I can't expect this deck to have a Link 1, but I also don't expect this deck to have crazy, crazy turnaround victories like people were expecting. For Legacy support, this was cool. But look at Madolche. They didn't give, this deck didn't get a gimmick puppet treatment. Let's just be completely honest there. But it all depends what they do with Gateway. Next up is the Metal Morph support. Now, I'm still coming off of the wow, we retrained Metal Morph out here. I wanted to see Bandit Keith cards, but Metal Morph was not on my, Metal Morph was something I mentioned. I didn't expect them to do it. I honestly, considering the fact, I was expecting like maybe another slot machine retrain or like a sub of an completed, but okay, so the Metal Morph. So basically what the Metal Morph support is it's basically in Dragon Link now and in Yubel. Oh boy. Yeah, I know, they actually made this Yubel support. So basically gave Yubel when your opponent activates like a monster effect or spell and trap card, you can pop 2 monsters on the field or something like that, which is not like the craziest thing in the world, but it's good support. And then Dragon Link, basically, you tribute a level 5 or higher, you basically get an Omni Negate. All for what? An inclusion of a 2-card package in your deck, because the monster returns itself, searches for the Metal Morph. You just have to find the monster to tribute. And then, if you see the Metal Morph, well, you're good to go. These cards were insanely designed correctly. The fact that the boss monsters can search them as one of, this actually gives me hope that in the future they could actually fix Stardust Assault mode. Actually have more big boss monsters that could frickin' actually... If the Stardust Assault mode monsters could return themselves to the deck to search for Stardust Assault mode, and the same level that they just retrained Metal Morph, I would be ecstatic. That'd be the coolest shit they could ever actually do. And that would fix everything that we have ever wanted. But this engine is the definition of splashable. And you know what? For iconic boss monster tie-ins to the competitive game, I think this is probably the coolest stuff out of the week. Now, the last thing I want to touch on here is the free agents. And out of the free agents, I got the chance to listen to my local players talk about, they actually gave Morganite a search. Actually, that's been the whole general gist out of everything, has been everybody just kind of crapping their pants at the Morganite searcher. The only thing that this really genuinely matters in is if I'm playing this in the stun version of the deck, so I can get the double attack. But then that means that the Moon Mirror Shield's proccing twice a turn and you're taking 200 damage. If you're genuinely that worried about this, I guarantee you Runic's not going to be playing this at all. Runic barely wants to play a Morganite as it is. To be shitting and crapping the pants everywhere about a card that searches a card that, you're playing a deck to try to draw out the course of the game, chill, it's not that insane. We also got the new Super Poly Target for Dragons. There's nothing really too crazy to talk about for the rest of the free agents. I mean, they're cool cards. Do they do anything to really change the meta? No, honestly. The new stuff is not exactly the craziest out there, but I think it's enough to get the job done with this stuff. So overall, I'm just going to say this again. I think we're in a decent place with these reveals. A lot of stuff to test more. I do want to see more results for Six Samurai, but okay. So overall, Rage of the Abyss is looking fantastic so far. So please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here in the day, guys. patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.